Today, we're going to learn about the sense of taste. Have you noticed how salty this popcorn is? Or how sour this lemon is? Why do foods taste differently? All this is possible thanks to the sense of taste. The sense of taste allows us to identify and learn how foods taste. The tongue is the sensory organ responsible for tasting. The tongue is covered with bumps called taste buds, also known as papillae, in charge of collecting information about different tastes and send it to the brain through the taste nerves. There are different types of taste buds grouped in separate parts of the tongue. The basic tastes that taste buds are able to identify are 5: sweet, salty, bitter, sour, and umami. That's it, you heard it right. Umami is the word we use to refer to incredibly delicious foods. The taste buds for sweet are on the tip of the tongue. The salt buds are on either side of the tongue. And the bitter taste buds are in the center of the back of the tongue, near the throat. The umami buds are in the middle of the tongue. The sour buds are located on either side and lower part of the tongue. There are many hints of flavors and savors produced by combining these 5 basic tastes. Did you know that the sense of taste and hearing communicate? That's why when we have a cold, food doesn't taste as good as it normally does. How interesting, right? Imagine eating this fruit. When we put it in our mouth, chemical substances in the apple communicate with the taste buds on the tongue. The taste buds transmit this information to the brain through the taste nerves. The brain is in charge of recognizing the type of taste and decide whether we like what we're tasting or not. Yum, this apple is so sweet. I love it. Yikes, this lemon is so sour. I don't like it at all. We experience tastes differently. That's why, even though one group of people may like the same food, another totally dislikes it. The sense of taste also helps to protect our health from foods that have gone bad. If these foods don't taste right, our brain will send signals to stop eating them. The sense of taste is amazing and essential for life. Don't you think so? Today, we're going to learn about the sense of touch. Have you ever noticed how rough bath sponges are? Or how soft cotton is? Why do objects feel cold or hot? All of this is thanks to the sense of touch. The sense of touch allows us to detect, identify, and distinguish among the properties of an object in the world that surrounds us. Thanks to the sense of touch, we feel the temperature of a container, the softness of a fabric, the shape of a present, or the puncture of a cactus needle. That's right, the sense of touch is also in charge of letting you feel pain. The skin is the organ responsible for the sense of touch. Did you know that it's the largest organ of our body? Yes, that's right. It covers all of our body. The skin is divided into 3 different layers: the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. The epidermis is the outermost layer of the skin and protects us from external factors like bacteria, viruses, or fungi. Our skin has small openings or pores that allow oxygen out and sweat to pass through. Look at your hands. This is your epidermis. The dermis is the middle layer of the skin. It contains blood capillaries, sweat glands, and a number of receptors in charge of collecting information from the outside world. There are various types of receptors. The Pacinian corpuscles, in charge of detecting pressure. The Meissner corpuscles, in charge of feeling the shape and size of objects. The Ruffini corpuscles, in charge of sensing warmth. The Krauss corpuscles, in charge of sensing cold. These receptors, connected with nerve endings, carry different sensations to the brain. Lastly, The hypodermis is the innermost layer and separates the skin from other internal organs. Its main function is to regulate body temperature. Hair growth happens in this layer of our skin. Did you know that we have more than 100,000 follicles in our head? Imagine you touch a hot plate. The receptors and nerve endings on our skin will collect the different sensations and send this information to the brain through the nerve endings. The brain is in charge of recognizing the shape of the plate, its texture, and of course, its temperature. If we grabbed this hot plate, the brain would quickly signal our hand muscles to put the plate down. Incredible, right? As you can see, the skin is a very important organ, and for this reason, we should take care of it. These are 3 basic tips. Wash your hands before meals, when you get back home from the park or school, and after using the bathroom. If you have a wound, disinfect it to prevent an infection. You can also cover it with a band-aid or gauze. Avoid midday sun, especially during summer. Wearing a cap, clothes, and sunscreen will help us to protect our skin. Today we're going to learn about the sense of smell. The smells we are able to detect are particles or chemical substances floating in the air. These particles travel through the air and enter our nose through the nostrils, reaching the nasal cavity. In the nasal cavity, there are small hairs that clean and filter the air. This part of our nose is covered by a mucous membrane that keeps the nose moist. Then filtered air reaches the olfactory membrane. This is where we find the cells in charge of collecting the information and sending it to the brain. The olfactory nerve takes the information to the brain, which is in charge of recognizing it and reacting to what we're smelling. Once the information has reached the brain, this transmits the necessary signals to react to the different smells. Let's look at this example. If our nose detects a burning smell, we will look for the source of the smell and find a safe place to hide. Did you know that there are animals able to detect more smells than humans? Dogs, for example. That's why they're great at searching and rescuing people who are lost in the woods. That's how the sense of smell works. Did you like learning about it? Today we're going to learn about the sense of smell and the sense organs involved in it. The nose is the sense organ of smell. It is in charge of perceiving smells and sending this information to the brain so that this can respond adequately. Imagine you smell something burning. The nose will send this information to the brain, and this, at the same time, will send signals to react. The nose has other important functions as well. It's where the air we breathe comes through. Air is cleaned and filtered in the nose, preventing harmful substances from entering the lungs. Also, the nose moistens and warms the air. Some of the sense organs of smell are: the nostrils are the 2 holes in your nose through which smells reach the nasal cavity. The nasal cavity, which is above the palatine bone and connects with the throat. This area is covered by a mucous membrane which keeps the nose moist. In our noses, we have small hairs that clean and filter the air. The olfactory membrane sits at the upper part of the nasal cavity. It is covered with cells that collect information to send it to the brain through the olfactory nerve. The olfactory nerve is connected to the olfactory membrane and transmits the smell signals from the outside world to the brain. When we have a cold, our nose is blocked, and we can't smell the way we normally do. That's why our ability to detect smells is lost or reduced. These are the sense organs that serve the sense of smell. Interesting, right?
So very much for you watching. Kindly like and subscribe our channel and push the bell icon button for more updates.